Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. I'm so glad you could attend. Step inside. Those, of course, being lyrics to an ELP song, which, coincidentally, would also be the initials of this channel, Everyone Loves Pirates. And we are glad to have you back. I am glad to have you back. And we are playing Crusader Kings II. And last time, what happened was we got our claim on Kildare, and we talked about our army size, how to figure out their army size, and wondering whether we should go attack them in this war. And I think I would really like to do that, but there's a couple things I want to do first. We do have more troops than him. Well, actually, we have less troops than him, but we have more with the help of our father. But I actually know from previous experience that this guy can be a little tougher than you might think. And my martial skill is really low. I really don't want to be leading my troops. One, I could die. Two, I'm going to make things worse. So I am going to, first off, we'll get the clock moving at speed 2. I want to build up a little money just in case we need it. What we can do if we need to, that I didn't talk about before, is we can hire mercenaries if we get in a tough spot. The cheapest ones are 75. I may not wait for that, but there's also a monthly cost associated with that. I think the cheapest one of those is about 7 gold per month. So you need quite a bit of money. And we probably won't wait that long. But in the meantime, an event came up. An old weather-bitten diplomat who has served in most of the courts in Europe, the ones that mattered at least, agreed to take you under his wing for a few days. He taught you many valuable tricks and how to deal with vassals and other rulers. Much obliged. We gained 1 diplomacy. And this happened because we have that ambition to improve diplomacy. It's over to 7 now. That's very nice. So as long as we use this before we die, this claim, we can kill him. We can go to war. We'll see if we can kill him. And you can tell this has turned what did we say that was? Tan. And it shows over here in the tooltips on the lower right that we do have a casus belli. Casus belli is basically a reason that we can attack them, and that's because of that claim we fabricated. There's other ways you can attack. It's not just claims, but mostly for a Catholic, it's going to be claims. Now, our father will help us out. I'm grateful for that, but like I said, I want to find a better martial character that can lead my army. Now, we could use our actual marshal, but he's training troops, and we need him to train troops. And that's another thing I want to wait for. I want to make sure that we have our full levy, and maybe he'll get a chance to even boost that further through some special events based on his training troop skill, so we can get better levy reinforcements on top of this. But let's use this character finder again. Real quick, let's do men who are not in prison, any married, not a ruler, so they will come to our court. Yes, our religion. Yes, our culture. Adult, yes. Great house doesn't matter. We need to search everywhere. And actually, I'm even going to say any for culture. I want to see who the best possible ones are. I'd love to get a 20. Now, you see, unlike, let's say, us, or our marshal, some of these guys actually have specific things, techniques they can use in battle. This guy's unyielding, he has higher moral defense and just regular defense. This guy's a defender, he does the same, but the negative is he doesn't do as much damage. Battlefield terrain master. There's a lot of cool stuff that these guys can do. Holier warrior. So let's see if we can get one of these dudes. I'm going to do the same thing. Right click on them to get to diplomacy real quick, and I'm just going to go up and down trying to find someone who will come to my court based on how much they dislike their liege, how much they could possibly like me, especially with a bribe or two. Skip the guys that really hate me. Or whether they have claims that they need pressed, that their liege can't and we might be able to. Not that we ever really would, but they don't know that, and they'll come to our court just hoping that someday they can convince us to do that. Nah. We can see maybe. No, that's a difference of 3. We can't overcome 3. I know this isn't particularly fun to watch. I'm hoping we'll find someone pretty quick. It'll be a little easier with people who are of our culture. I'm really hoping for us to find someone that has a claim that they need pressed. Man, that's still a difference of 3. Despite how much he hated his liege. Ooh, that's looking better. Come on. Yes. So this guy will come. He likes us until he gets here probably. Doesn't like his liege, but it's mostly those claims. So this is Raymond. He has an 18 score, which is good. He's envious, so he will dislike us. I'm actually going to mark this guy as a special character by using that star. Not a character of special interest, like we did that other guy. So I can get back to him. I'm going to look a little bit further, just because with the envious and the short reign bonus once he gets to our court, and probably a couple other things, the different cultures, -20, he actually will dislike us quite a bit when he gets here. But it's a possibility. He will come. We don't have to bribe him or anything. And I don't care if he likes me all that much, as long as he's willing to fight for me. Okay, here's another guy. There are 2 peasant families in Dublin who have been locked in a bitter feud for generations. This conflict has now escalated to the point where it is even discussed in circles of nobility. Although this feud would normally be far beneath your notice, this could be a golden opportunity to practice your diplomacy. So another diplomacy event fires. This one's going to be, it sounds like, a chain of events. So I can choose to put an end to this squabble, or just let them figure it out and basically look for some other way to improve my diplomacy. But I'll choose this. I've never seen this one before. It could be interesting. Now, I'll pause real quick so we don't get interrupted again, just in case that fires really quickly. One of the reasons why I'm interested in this guy, despite him being Frankish, is there's a few things. One, I like just his general stats overall. He's trusting, that's better for me. He's an aggressive leader, this will be good for when we attack. He's a brilliant strategist, but he's greedy. And what greedy does is when we send him a gift, we'll get a lot more opinion with him because he really values money. So he won't come to court now. We have to overcome a difference of 2, of -2, our +3 versus his -5 for coming. But we could probably do it. 20 will get a 62 opinion, which is huge. And the last thing is he wants to get married. So I can, once he comes to court, I can get him married. I can marry him. And he will like me, I believe it's 15 more for fulfilling his marriage wish. So that'll offset some of the other things, the -20 from not being in our culture, and the -14 or so from the short reign bonus. So let's send the gift. We'll see that he now likes us 83, sent gift, plus 62. Invite to court, he will come. I'm going to bring this guy. So, you've invited 2 feuding families to a local inn hoping to reach some kind of agreement. The peasants are seated at 2 opposing tables on either side of your position in the middle. There we are, there they are. Some have brought pitchforks, one clutches a live chicken, and all of them look moderately inbred. This could be a challenge. So the Hatfields and McCoys. Appeal to their sense of reason, or flatter them. Huh. Well, it says they look inbred. They may not really see reason, especially since this is quite the feud. Let's try flattering. That's a very diplomatic thing to do. My friends, you say with a warm smile as you can muster, I think you know why I've called your great families here. As you suffer from this tragic conflict, the entire realm suffers with you. Mention their patriotic duty. Soothe their tempers. You know, patriotism can be very strong, but I want to soothe them. That sounds more diplomatic to me. In a firm but kind voice you say, many of you are angry. I know. You have every reason to be. Too much blood has been spilled between your families for things to be smoothed over. But there comes a time when one has to look to the future. So we can either threaten them with violence, or we can lambast their childish behavior. Let's just maybe call them out on being childish. I don't really want to threaten. I don't want to have to back it up. You thump your fist on the table for dramatic effect. In the end, Are we not all adults here? Is it so easy to resort to the bickering of children for nobility and commoners alike? But that is when we must find the inner strength to rise above such pettiness. Let us walk out of here as the adults we are. What say you? They stand up in unison. The inn turns silent. Is this going to be a fight, or are they going to agree they're being childish? Though it's doubtful whether they understood half of what you said, most of your message seems to have carried over. The peasants give rousing applause. Crying members from each of the two families hug each other, and at least two marriages between their bloodlines are agreed upon on the spot. It seems the feud is over. Well, that went better than expected, and we actually got 2 diplomacy. So we're going to go from 7 to 9. Yay, we fulfilled the ambition to improve diplomacy, and we got 100 extra prestige. Now, the great thing about this is, in a couple months, we can have a feast, which will be nice. They'll spend some money, but that can help quite a bit on some things. And on a pause, we can pick a new ambition. And once again, I want to focus on getting my prestige up. As much as we can use Marshall, it's probably not going to happen in time to really help us out. So let's do learning. This could fire right away and get us 100 prestige. Who knows? Let's also look at our intrigue and see if we can... Yes, we can go on a hunt. And I do want to do that, because this can also help if we decide to go into war. And we got the guy coming, so I'll close this. We're getting pretty close to being ready. I've given the order for a grand hunt to be organized in Dublin. I will find the white stag. And we've got our levies at max. Hopefully something happens during the hunt that gives me a chance to raise my marshal or something else that'll help in the war. Yay, this guy's come to our court. Now, he still has 52 opinion of us, but you see we have the -16 short range modifier and the -20 foreigner modifier. So once that sent gift goes away, and that does, after, I think, 2 years, the sent gift no longer applies. We'd have to send him more money, but he's greedy, so that'll be easy. Hunting party has cornered a large bear. A small argument amongst the hunters regarding who should get to kill the bear has nearly turned into a brawl. Just solve it already and become wroth, which will actually help our marshal. It'll lower our diplomacy and our intrigue. This is one of the ways that had we been at 8 diplomacy, and we chose this, we could drop back down to 7, and then do the ambition again, and get another 100 for finishing it. Or we could go after the bear. If we do that, there's a 75% chance that nothing happens. There's a 10% chance we gain 1 base marshal permanently. 10% chance we get wounded, and a 5% chance we get maimed. Wounded's okay. Wounds heal, usually, especially since we got a little extra health from being misguided warrior. And when they scar up, you actually get scarred as a trait, and it gives you a little extra prestige. We would also get bloodlust for a year, which means our marshal would go up 2 and our stewardship would go up 1. So for a year, if we chose this, well, until we lost Roth, we'd probably keep Roth for a while, we just get +3 marshal anyways. And then we would get an additional 2 for a year. And our stewardship would go up. I kind of like that. Oh, actually, we can't get both. Sorry, what am I thinking? Actually, this is, excuse me, this is the same day as the previous episode. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I just couldn't stay away. But my voice will go, and my brain is still not quite working. So we get a tiny bit of prestige, and a more or less permanent 3 marshal, or a temporary 2 marshal, with the chance of getting a permanent 1 marshal. I actually do like this better, because we don't need it. If we go to war now, we won't need it for more than a year anyways. And we could get Roth again later after we improve this to 8 and get it up to 11. So give me the spear. Okay. Well, nothing. Oh, did our marshal? Okay, our marshal went up to 2, the temporary 2. We didn't get the permanent 1. Our base didn't go up, but we didn't get hurt, so that's not bad. I'm out in the woods. I see a mighty stag while my party is hunting. What are the odds? Gain 5 prestige. Spirit's Majesty. We'll get a temporary diplomacy, which would be another way to, had we been at 7, actually get that improved diplomacy. and this is temporary, it'd go away after a year, and then we'd be able to choose that ambition again. So that's a way you can kind of farm prestige a little bit. But I'm going to take the 5 prestige. It's not a lot, but it might come in handy. And I'm just going to wait, see if anything else happens from the hunt. And then we might declare war. Looking at our council, our chancellor can be moved now. Same thing again. We see the stag again. And I will take some more prestige. We don't need him fabricating claims anymore. What I am going to do, I'm going to have him improve diplomatic relations. And the hunt's over. We get 10 prestige from the hunt. Over here, just so the mayor maybe likes me a little more and will give me more levy. It'll take a while to happen, so it probably won't happen in time, but it can't hurt. The other thing I would like to happen, if possible, is that our court chaplain makes the bishop like us more than the pope, and then he'll give us some army as well. But that probably isn't going to happen anytime soon. Now, we're past November. We could do a feast real quick. It's going to use up quite a bit of gold. Domhnall's justice has brought peace to a troubled province. Fewer crimes are committed and fewer complaints are heard in the province. The peasants have never been happier. Wow. Good job. Our steward made the peasants happy somehow. I don't know how, but good job, dude. I don't really want to waste all of our money. It's going to take us money to keep our levies up. I'm going to wait till January, and then I think we're going to attack Kildare. I don't know why I'm going to wait till January. I just am. We'll get that auto-save January 1st. Okay. The new year. Oh. And our son apparently was born on January 1st, and he has become a flamboyant schemer. So he got the 2 level of intrigue. And he's really a pretty crappy character. We do not want to play with him at all. But we might use him for breeding purposes. We'll see. Not now. I'm not concerned about it. Let's look at war. And actually, I think this is probably a good place to stop. Just checking the time real quick. Alt-tabbing out. So, we raised our diplomacy through a few different things. And we also went on a hunt and raised our martial as well. Temporarily. And, yeah, so come back. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's going to be a short one, but the next one is going to be all war. There's going to be a lot for you to learn, a lot to show you, and hopefully it goes well. Thanks a lot.